All right, good morning. It is May 14th. And okay, should we start with the exciting news, Sophia? I feel like we should. Or
I
do
mean,
we hold off?
we can start with it
Okay. You want to
because
say
I've just been so excited to talk about it.
it? Me too. Go for it.
Okay, so Hannah and I decided to um, rent a hut at the end of July for a 4-day team experience. So we're super
Experience.
excited. Yep. Caroline, my hopes are that the wedding you're in get canceled so that you can go. Because 3 of my weddings have been canceled this year anyway, so it's possible.
This is
Actually,
her third scheduling.
what?
This is her third rescheduling date, so we'll see.
We'll see. Okay, well, I'm just gonna put that out there, even though I don't wish that for them, but it's more for you. And Alex, we're gonna find a way to make you come. We're gonna make it happen.
And
But
all of our East Coast gals.
yeah, we're super excited. I think that in-person events are super important for business growth. And oh, Marie, I have to repeat what I just said because this is the exciting news today. Hi, Marie. Oh, I don't know if you're muted.
Hello.
Yeah. Hey, first tea time for Marie, by the way.
What's up?
Yay. So Marie, we were just saying that Hannah and I rented a hut for the end of July for 3 days in Colorado to do a team building adventure retreat. So hopefully you East Coasters can come. But that was my news. But the reason why we're doing this, one, is because all of the in-person events for Juice Plus have been canceled, and those in-person events are really powerful for your business growth. So even though we all meet every week together, it's really powerful to practice just some skills and be together and really feel what our abundance project vibe is, because that's part of the reason why we're all here as well. So team bonding in that way, and then having some training along the way. Obviously it will be fun training, ways to tap into your heart space while you're talking to potential people and things like that. So we've got a whole lineup of fun events for this retreat.
We have an itinerary already.
We already have an itinerary.
We have a packing list.
Yep.
And there's spots.
What hut is it?
What was that?
What hut is it?
Polar Star.
Nice.
It has a sauna.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it's quarantine, the hut system is open, so we're good. And we did this because even during quarantine, people have been able to fly this whole time. So if you feel comfortable flying, Denver's a really easy place to get to. If we have enough people flying into Denver, we can figure out a way to shuttle people to the hut, all that stuff.
We figured it was enough time that maybe things would, be really positive by that point. We're having an open mind, and if not, you guys can drive here. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
How far is it from the Denver airport?
Like 2 hours.
2 hours. But if we have enough people flying in, we'll figure it out. We'll have some sort of way.
Shit, I'll drive down and pick you up.
Yeah.
I don't care.
What?
How many people is it?
There's 19 spots.
Okay.
So I already paid for the whole thing. So if anyone wants to really dial their spot in, like Hannah's already Venmoed me for hers, it's $129 for the whole weekend. So that's like nothing for lodging. And then yeah, that's it. So it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we leave Sunday. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, if anyone wants to crash with us on either side of that, feel free.
Yeah, if you're making your way here, then make it a longer trip.
Amazing.
We could also, if people are traveling all the way here, something that we could do is have like a Raise Your Vibration event in Vail, maybe Monday or before we go, so that we have like an Abundance Project event that people can kind of feel what those events are like as well.
Be fun.
Yeah.
Be super fun. Yeah, and so we can get you guys, we created some graphics and we can send you the link to the hut information and just, you know, sit with it for now. Obviously, like the thought of travel can be a little anxiety ridden right now, I think, for most of us. So we're just planting the seed now so that we'll see how things unfold, but I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
Yay. So that's massive news.
Huge.
Any questions on any of that?
What are the dates? End of July?
Yes, July 30th through August 2nd. Is that it?
Yeah. Or 31st.
31st.
Um,
So it's like the last day of July and then 2 days into.
oh, I'm about to have a barking fest.
And I mean, at this point, like it's first come, first serve. So if you have someone join the team that you want to come within that time frame and they put their deposit down, like their priority. So it kind of motivates you to bring your people. So a really great way to expose them to the community. In-person events are a game changer. So that's so exciting. We'll get you guys some more information on that and some pretty graphics to inspire. The next thing that we were going to talk about is just making sure everyone feels good about this reset and plugging people into the Facebook group and everything like that. I guess that's the big step, reminding your customers that this is happening. Obviously, like not every customer is going to relate with this, probably more the ladies. And just making sure that they know that this is available for them. And it's just, again, such a great prospecting tool. So even if you think of someone in the next few days, plug them in and you don't need to make a big deal out of it. Just focus on like taking care of them during the reset period and like creating that interest then. Something that I was talking with Ariel about yesterday is I think a really interesting flow with all of this. If you guys haven't checked out the page on the hub that Eliza made with like, okay, I've, shared all this information with people. I'm inviting them to the Facebook group. Now what? Make sure to check that out. There's some really great tools in there. But if they're really excited about the community and the reset and they are interested in the products, like let that be kind of like the next phase of, it doesn't have to be that they get the products for this reset. The reset can be an opportunity for them to understand the value of it and maybe sign up for the products halfway through. There's no like perfect structure for it, so let it flow with what you've got going on. Is there anything, Sophia, that you want to note on that? You're muted.
No, I think you covered it all. I mean, the resources on the hub are, really valuable. So I always just try to remind people and encourage them that they're there because I think they might be some of the most easily overlooked things, like we're busy talking to people and doing all that stuff. But I watched Eliza's little video on how to kind of add the talk about the plant powders, and it's awesome. And it just also, that video to me is a great way to talk about products in general anyways. Just keep it super light, keep it friendly. The way that she did it was just super like casual conversation, no pressure. I just want to know, you to know this is available, and it's really like done great things. So all those tools are super valuable.
Awesome. I mean, I just weave it into the conversation initially. I'm like, hey, we've got this great reset going on. It's completely free. If you do want additional plant powders, like we can have a separate conversation about that. Totally optional. Like I just sometimes sandwich it in there and kind of leave it open. But yeah, it's like the least pressure of anything I could imagine. And there's some really great tips in the newsletter. I'm sure you guys have taken a look at it. But one of them that I'm really loving right now is before we get going next week, the people that are already interested in the reset, you can go in and maybe tag them in the comments of a video or some other content from the last reset to be like, can't wait to get started next week. Like, this is from our last reset, such a great video. Like, starting to engage them to like get in the habit of like you commenting with their name and they go check it out, you know? So I thought that was really smart. Like, we do that with team call. If people miss it, we write their name in the comments, etc. Ooh,
Question.
oh yeah, babe.
So when you're like signing someone up for like the Body Love, whatever, you add them to the Facebook page, and I sent somebody like the link to like one of the cookbooks. It's like, it's on the hub. It's like the Welcome Resetters page, and it has just like more videos of like the Shred 10 and like prep list and the cookbook and whatnot. And I had some girls super interested in that, just looking at different recipes and whatnot. I thought that was also a really helpful tool to send.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess that was no question. That was just a comment.
I think that's awesome. And remember that this one does not have any nutritional guidelines, but just to create nourishing meals. If you also go into the customer care portal, there's a tab that has all the recipes that we've collected. That's also really great that you can share with them that are made by the team, mostly Caroline.
This is all on the Facebook page, you said?
Yeah, so the Facebook page has most of this. And then also the customer care portal has recipe, like a whole section on recipes as well.
Like on the website?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it's theabundanceproject.life/customer-portal. We can make sure to get it to you. And this is something that you can share with all your customers. And what Marissa was talking about with the reset tools, that's in there. Go play around in there. And Marie, if you ever have anything you want to contribute to the customer portal, let us know. We're always collecting stuff.
I was gonna. Oh,
Go for it, babe.
I was gonna say too. So for all the resets, and Marie, I know you've got some catching up to do, but this month we're doing Body Love reset. Next month we're doing the reset that we did. I think you did it with us. The more like structured, more of like an elimination, see how you feel without eating these foods. This one is more spiritual and a lot of really more women based. But with both resets, you guys keep this in mind. We have offerings every day for both resets. So I don't know if your heart like resonates more with one of the resets or the other or both. I love both. So, and you think, wow, I have an offering that would really be great for this reset. Please let us know because there are sign-up sheets. There is a sign-up sheet that we have, Hannah and I have. And so if there's something that you want to contribute to this Body Love, reach out to us and we can sign you up for something as well.
What's an example of an offering?
Well, so I'll add you to the Body Love Facebook page and you can kind of browse the last one that they did. But there's anything from meditation to like a daily practice. I'm having Savannah come in and do a mindful sensory eating exercise. There's people talking about astrology, any kind of insightful something that is your passion that you think people would love to practice or hear about.
Yeah.
Could really be anything.
This one's a lot more ritual and habit based.
Yeah.
And the other one's a little bit more nutrition and health.
Yeah, and like active sort of, yeah.
Which we're just starting this kind of bounce back and forth between the two. So we're working out the kinks, but so far I feel like it's been a really great balance.
I like that we're switching off. I think it gives enough time in between too for each one. It's nice.
Yeah, have a different.
And I feel like it would attract two different kinds of people too. Not everyone wants to focus on the health aspect.
Totally.
Exactly.
I mean, like nutrition-wise health.
Right.
Yeah, and if you have people struggling with their body image, like the other one's not really that healthy for them, like if they're having already problems with like not problems, but a hard time with like food relationships, like this is the one that you send them to because this is going to help them just feel good, add in some daily routines, journal, it's just really like body love,
It might like warm them up for the next
Yeah.
one. The
Yeah.
next phase.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that information will live in the Facebook group. So even if we're in the other one for the reset, but you meet someone that is struggling with their body image or just like their self-love, just plug them into that Facebook group and be like, tag them in your favorite things. The content is there to utilize however you want, which is really, I think, a cool thing as we collect more just stories and things like that. Cool. Any other questions on the reset? Cool. Obviously, you can let us know if anything pops up. I feel like there's so much more ease with this version of the reset because it's just has a much more relaxed vibe for whatever reason. It's probably because we don't need to prep food and things like that. So there's an easefulness around it. The other thing we wanted to mention are these power hours that we are doing this week, and hopefully we'll do it ongoing, but the hours are in the weekly newsletter. It looks like today there's one at 11 a.m. Mountain Time with Kristen, and then tomorrow there's one at 11:11 with Angie. She's like
Throwing off your blueprint.
I know, my blueprint's like it starts at 11 or 11:15 or 11:30. I'm like, this is just rude. Anyway, and then 9 a.m. with Soph tomorrow, which will be really good. So yeah, we'll always put those hours in there. Is there any other like housekeeping things, Soph, that we were gonna chat about? We talked about the retreat, reset, power hour.
I think maybe explaining power hour a little bit more, just so people know what it might be.
Such a good idea. So the concept is really just there's no training or anything like that. You just hop on the Zoom and you'll have a bunch of other faces and you're just doing your work in the company and energy of other people. So it's more of an accountability tool. Other things we've done in the past are like miracle mornings. So like 7 a.m. Mountain Time, we hop on and like, doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be doing work, you could be doing your ritual, but just like have somewhere that you are showing up. Yeah, it's a cool concept and we're going to continue to play with it, especially in this virtual world we're all living in.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'll be there tomorrow. So
Yay! Yeah, I was talking with Kristen Helmer and just kind of asking her what her outline is, and basically I really like the idea of kind of tapping into your heart space before you start reaching out to people. So just kind of starting power hour that way and then going into your reach outs, because as we talk about all the time, reaching out to people without being in that space, that's when it feels weird. So I'm excited to have like a lot of people come together and dedicate time too, because we're always like, I do this all the time. I'm like, oh, I'm going to reach out to people like tomorrow at this time. And then all of a sudden that didn't happen. And so if I put it in my schedule and we're all doing it together, it's just like a great commitment. So I'm stoked.
it's like study hours. It reminds me of study
Well,
hours.
and also, if one of you, Alex, if you're like, hey, I'm going to spend the next hour doing messages, throw it into the tea time chat, and be like, hey, is anybody else free that wants to hop on, like that needs some accountability? Like you guys can host these within our smaller community as well.
Yeah. Love that.
Feel empowered to do that for sure. And it's such a great building tool, I think, as your team grows, to have like those with your specific,
Mhm.
And this is actually so perfect. I don't know if there's any other housekeeping stuff that we wanted to go over, but the whole concept of dropping into your heart space was something I was going to talk more about today. So do we have anything else we want to add, Soph?
I thought I listed something else, but I can't remember what it was. Hold on.
Retreat.
Can I
And,
ask the body
that was it.
thing?
That was it?
What, Marie?
About the body love thing. So like the health reset thing makes sense because you're kind of following like these dietary guidelines. But for the body love thing, is it like, do we meet every day at a certain time, or are people, is there like a schedule for it? Is there something that we do together daily?
The Facebook group is going to be the hub of the reset. So just like last time, the other Facebook group, how we put a schedule in, but we didn't actually put times. So there is structure. There's definitely like journal prompts every day, meditation that's available in the files for every single day. And then there's 2 offerings, one in the morning and one in the evening. So people don't necessarily have to view them live. They don't have to be there at the exact time that it's playing. But every day that content is going to be filtered in to the reset page. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Little classes. And the other thing I just put in the tea time chat is we have a body love reset checklist that you can do every day. That's meditate, journal, affirmations, time outside, dance party, drink lots of water, slept 7 to 8 hours, 30 minutes of movement, and plant powders. So really fun stuff. And something that they did last time, you can put this on your Instagram if you want and like say, okay, day 1, and then check, check, check. And then you don't have to explain it. It will create curiosity. People are like, what is that? I want to do that. And you're like, great, like I'll plug you into this Facebook group.
Okay.
You know?
And we're gonna have 3 offerings that explain Juice Plus a little bit more, just because obviously this is a business group. The products are optional, but we do want to be able to, explain the products so that we have the opportunity to share them with the people too.
Mhm.
So there's going to be 3 different times that it touches on that.
Okay.
And again, we'll probably have that schedule more ahead of time for you next time because we're just kind of working things out, I think. I like your blueprinty questions, Marie.
My what?
We call it like blueprint, like structure and systems. I feel like your questions are very much so me. Very, like, really connect.
I ask a lot of questions.
I love it. I love questions. Cool. Any other questions? Ladies.
Hannah, can I be really annoying and ask you to forward me one of your like customer emails that you send out? I'm
Yes.
trying to like find a creative, like my creative way in it, and I need a little inspiration.
Yeah.
I don't want it to just be like a white back. I don't know. I have a vision that's not coming together.
So I will say simple is better. Short is better. And then like all of those email templates, like you can do things on MailChimp and all that, those go to junk. So doing things in your email, and there are ways to like highlight and change the colors of the fonts,
Mm-hmm.
make things bold and things like, yeah, I will do that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. And I know Sophia asked for that too. Cool.
Can I have that too? Just because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, Maria, what we talked about this, I don't know what tea time, but something that I've been enjoying doing is sending a weekly email to my customers and kind of giving them either, okay, we've got this reset coming up. This event happened last week. Here's the recording, or here's something cool that was in our customer portal. Just like giving them a little blurb. And for me, it's nice because I know that I'm sending them something, and then maybe I'm checking in with them one-on-one a little bit less often.
Okay.
Obviously before they their reship and stuff like that, but making it personal enough.
Okay.
So I'll share that with you guys for sure. So I'm really excited to share this with you guys. Last night I'm like, I don't know what we're going to talk about tomorrow other than like housekeeping things. And I knew something would hit me by this time. And I really wanted to share a concept that has been really helpful for me in my life and that I've been really focusing on. And it's this concept of the 3 energetic states of being. And it's probably familiar to you guys to a certain degree, but I want to apply it to our business and connect our practices of like being embodied and in our body and in a state of peace, with making powerful connections with other people, right? That, and we just were talking about reaching out from a heart-centered place and how important that is. And really our desire is that people not only hear what we have to say, but they also connect to us on this soul level, this soul resonance, right? And that's why a lot of you guys are here, is your soul connected to this mission, to these products, to the person who invited you here into this community. And that's really, I mean, probably the biggest reason that you're here. I remember we, a few weeks ago, chatted about what was it that, you know, inspired you to join the Abundance Project. And a lot of it was this connection to the person that invited you, and knowing that you have the power to do that with other people. So this is just some concepts that I tried to focus on. So the first energetic state is the structured mind. And I am sure you guys have heard me talk about, you know, living in the structured mind. And so in the structured mind, it's very rigid. It's just chaos. There's this militant energy to it. And this is the part of us that judges everything, that's rooted in fear and scarcity. And that is, it's the part of us that really thinks in black and white. It's a part of us that compares and labels things. And yeah, it's just that chaos. And honestly, it's how most of us were raised. It's how most of us were taught to think. And if you begin to note your thoughts, you will notice how chaotic the structured mind can be just by simply observing it. And we have thousands and thousands of thoughts every single day. And most of them, they're not even really serving us in a creative way, right? So we don't really want to we do want to operate from this place when it is embodied, but you know, engaging our system and our body, that is when we can pull out that innate wisdom. Otherwise, if we're just focusing on the structured mind, that wisdom can be really muted. But what I mean by that wisdom is, what is this person that I'm talking to? What do they need? What do they desire? What is their pain? How can I serve them? It's like that wisdom of getting into their body and being able to see it from their lens, right? We have the power to do that. And so anytime we're operating just from the structured mind, we're not extracting that wisdom of our body. You know, we're in that overdrive frequency. I'm sure you guys have felt that buzzing feeling of just so many thoughts, that overdrive. There's no clarity, there's no space, and it drives everything that we do because we can't get back down into our heart space. So what I want to encourage you to do is pay attention to that concept every day in your life. Begin to figure out, okay, when am I in chaos? When am I in anxiety? When is it through the roof? When do I feel overwhelmed? When do I feel like, gosh, this is just way too much for me right now? And chances are that you're operating from the structured mind. And in your business, it's challenging to connect with others when on an emotional level, when you are fully in your structured mind. That's just like the simple concept of it. So, and it's really challenging to learn how to do business from anywhere other than the structured mind, because that's how we were taught. I went to business school. Everything was just like black, white structure, you know? So we get to really redefine the energy behind our business. So the second energetic state is the soft mind. And there's an awareness in the inner body and an awareness in the external world. So we are not just in our heads, and we're not having all these crazy thoughts that we try and note, and it's all over the place. We're not identifying and gripping to all of those chaotic thoughts, right? We have space, and we are really operating from that observer space, observing our thoughts as opposed to identifying with them. And there's a softness, right? You can feel that softness in your body. Hold on one second. I'm going to close my door. Tom's on the phone and it's on speaker. So I was saying the observation versus identification. Yeah, we're observing our thoughts versus identifying with them. And that softness means that we're not attached to the external world. We think about, okay, this is I love this example, that feeling after a yoga class where you feel really relaxed and you're in your body, you've been moving, you've been breathing, you're more connected, and it feels really, really good. There's this spaciousness and it feels clear. And so it's soft and it's open-hearted. And our awareness is of both our inner world and our external world simultaneously, which I think is a really powerful place to probably live most of our lives. And it's a constant work on. So we're not just out here like living our lives and taking action from the structured mind, where the world, just matters so much and everything is urgent and everything is important and it's go, 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 and there's structure and it's rigid and there's just all this chaos. You can like feel how my energy, even when I speak that way, is like really scattered. In the soft mind, it still has the awareness of those thoughts because we don't want to judge the fact that we have that chaos. It's just part of being human, but we're not attached to it. We can detach from that chaos. And that awareness of the external world and the internal world, we're having that stabilization. And so if we can get to a place where you can live from stabilization between the external, the internal, then you can really begin to drop into the third state of energetic, the third state of energetics, and that's embodied awareness. And this is what I'm really working on dropping more into more frequently when I am working, when I'm reaching out to people, when I'm creating anything for my business. And it's really when you're fully integrated in your body. And there's even a difference in your voice. You can think about someone guiding meditation, for example. It's a little bit deeper and, it's a little bit more grounded. It's a little bit more certain. And honestly, it's confidence. When you talk to somebody who's calm and even keeled, that is a frequency that someone wants to join. Someone wants to be a part of this community, wants to know what you're up to and be a part of it. And this place, it can be that clarity that you have when you are in that embodied awareness. It's nourishing, it's powerful. And what we want to figure out through going through this process of dropping into embodied awareness is, what are the levers that allow me to get into this state? What activities? And honestly, through this body love reset, these practices that allow us to drop into the state on a daily, just regular day-to-day life. So there are a lot of people that I know that really live between the soft mind and embodied awareness, and they don't usually go up into structure unless they're actually in danger. And it's beautiful to observe. I'm really working on that, and it's a beautiful way of living, and it creates more space and more openness. And we don't have to have this element of reactivity and being reactive to everything. And when we're observing, we get to respond to life. So instead of getting all these text messages and being like, oh my gosh, great, I get to respond. I get to connect. And when you're able to operate from this belief that everything is happening in perfect timing, like amazing, this person has come into my life at this perfect moment where we get to really connect and I get to share this with them, then we can really stabilize this energy of embodied awareness. So I want to be clear that I'm still working on this, and I'm still in my process, and I really am excited to work on it more with you guys, and so that you understand these concepts. And when you feel it, when you're stabilized in that embodied awareness, you have copious amounts of energy. It's honestly like starting to take Juice Plus. You're energized, you're energetic beings in a physical form, right? And that was pretty woo-woo. So we have so much access in this place to infinite intelligence and infinite access to light and love and energy. And when we're in this space, we can constantly, we can live up in the structured mind, and you'll feel really, really depleted. It's like you can drink all the caffeine in the world and you're still really fucking tired. And yes, there's things going on a cellular level, and that's why we have Juice Plus, but it's also an energetic level that you are depleted and you're not nurturing your embodied awareness. So you can drop into that soft mind, that embodied awareness, and feel those two sensations simultaneously. You'll experience more joy and lightness and that feeling like after yoga or meditation. And yeah, it's a really beautiful balance. So, we've got people in the waiting room. I wanted to share that with you guys because it's really those concepts have allowed me to guide through my day and be like, okay, so am I living up here? Am I living in like the softness, or am I embodying an energy, a frequency that other people can really align with? So yeah, that was my little lesson, my little rant. Thanks for listening and being open to those concepts.
I love it. Thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that.
Yeah. Have you guys heard of any, like, do you use those kind of concepts in your daily life? Maybe not with the same exact words, but
Honestly, I've got this, I feel like it's a little bit aligned. I've like got in the habit of asking myself, like, who do I want to be in this moment? What do I want to come from? Do I want to come from compassion? Do I want to come from strength? So like kind of like, am I coming from my feminine or my masculine, or what am I embodying, right now? Patience, like nurturing. So I don't just gotten in the habit of asking myself, like, who do I want to be right now in this moment?
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Do you feel like you live a lot of time in the structured mind?
I definitely feel like I can get caught up there, and you don't realize you're there for some time. But yeah, especially it's hard in business, like when you're doing this and you're just thinking about all the ways that you've learned about business and the hustle and like things like that. So yeah, I definitely do think I spend some time there, but I definitely do try to do other stuff to balance it.
Awesome. Were you gonna say something, Soph? You're muted. There you go. Oh, you won't unmute.
Unmute. The host would like to unmute me. Thank you. I've actually been thinking about this a lot, even though I have not been on the exact like study journey that you're doing right now, but specifically with this business, I've really found that there's a direct correlation with success and this idea, right? Like, and I've almost found it's easier to get teammates now than customers for me somehow, because when I'm talking about the community, like I'm always in that space, because that's what this is for all of us, right? Like this is such a hard space. Like this moment right here, this hour that we get to spend together, like this is so easy for me to talk about in that space, and people obviously like feel that, right? And it's funny because obviously I'm obsessed with the products and want everyone to experience it, but a lot of times that's when I find myself getting more in my head. And yeah, it's just really interesting to observe. Like I really try to be conscious of what I'm doing right before I even pick up the phone or send a message, because or an email or anything like that, because it really does matter, and people do feel intentions so much. And Hannah always says, like, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and I think that that's true. But I also think that it's authenticity. We're all humans, and even if you're not practicing energy or whatever, anything like that, you can still feel authenticity. And so yeah, it's a really powerful concept to explore, and I think it really makes huge strides for the business and life, like taking it into everything else that you're doing. I mean, it's hand in hand.
Totally. Welcome, Mary and Danielle. Hi, guys.
Hi. Wait, so I have a question for Sophia. And Sophia, I've been meaning to reach out to you anyways. I want to do like a little one-on-one Zoom with you. You said that you've been having a lot of like more success with signing team. Sorry, I can't think this morning. I don't know what's going on. With your team members, and that's an area that I'm struggling with right now. Can you talk more about like the language that you're using with reaching out to people to bring them onto the team? Because like I have no problem reaching out to people and selling the product. I've kind of got that down, but I'm struggling with bringing some team members on. So if you could talk more about, because like, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm super down to do a one-on-one as well, Danielle, anytime, just let me know. But I think what's important with teammates just as much as customers is making it specific to them, right? So it's no different than when you're talking to a customer and you're trying to make it specific to what they need. Like I literally have talked to every single person that's joined my team differently, and all of them I know enough to know like kind of why I think they would love this team, right? So like this week, two girls joined on Tuesday and Wednesday. So, but it was funny having them so close because my experience with them was completely different, right? So the first one, well, something that I've been practicing with some of my girls, like Alex and Caroline, we kind of talked about just bringing up conversation with people that you haven't talked to in a while, and not necessarily talking about the business right away, like just catching up with this person. The the one girl, I literally didn't even think about her for the Abundance Project, but I asked her about some riding boots, and I was like, hey, what were those horse boots that you had like 2 years ago, because I love them. And then we went into how are you, how's been quarantine, and then I just simply asked her about her work, like what are you doing for work during this time, and she was like, actually I'm at a really big crossroads, like um, and I really am trying to just see what the next thing is. I have no idea what I want to do. Like a lot of clients have fallen off. And I said, wow, well, and then I said, and I stopped before I responded. And I really thought about it because I was like, I could just be like, well, you could join the Abundance Project, but that's not necessarily going to work, you know? And I said, look, I don't know if you've been seeing my posts about the Abundance Project. It's something that I started in December, and I'm super grateful to have. I've actually thought about you before, just because your energy would be such a valuable addition to this team, because I genuinely believe that as well. And I, if you're interested, I would love to send you some more information, but if not, no worries. But if this is a time for explorations for you, then like I'd love to provide you with this opportunity. And she didn't respond for a couple days, and then she said, yes, please send me the video, right? So first, also, don't get shut down if they don't respond right away. Like sometimes we close our own energy off to the possibility if they don't respond, and that also doesn't really help us, right? And so then I sent her the Abundance Project video, and I said, please let me know what resonates with you once you watch it. And then a couple days go by, and then she's like, oh, I really love that. I would love more information, and then I said, okay, great. Well, I would love to get on the phone with you. I gave her a few times. So that's another thing. Don't just be like, let me know when you want to talk. I said, I'm free on Monday at this time to talk on the phone. I would love to just talk to you and give you more information. And so we set up a phone call. And that call was the most heart space I've ever been when I talked about this business. Like, I literally sunk, and I was like, just explaining from my genuinely heart space why I love this business so much. And like I also do like to talk about that it is an MLM. Like I'm pretty straightforward with it when we're on the phone. I'm like, look, I just want to let you know. I first talk about like why I love the products, kind of the importance of fruits and vegetables, obviously, because we need to talk about that too. And then I talk about the community and how like most of these people have become some of my best friends. And then I go into, so she's got like a foundation of what it is before I'm like, oh, it's an MLM. And then I go into, it is an MLM. And like at first I was a little off put by that as well, but I have to tell you, like, it's super different than any of the other ones, and this is why. You don't have to put a huge down payment in. You don't have to reach certain goals every month to stay on board. It's almost too good to be true, because like the business structure, you can do anything with it, and there's no, like, you don't get kicked out if you don't do something. So that's what a big reason why this one is different, right? And then also just talking about how like your own success, right? How finding structure and support and just like community has also allowed your own business to grow. And you know, just like the lack of pressure that this MLM has, because it is an MLM, like we all know that it's a network marketing, right? And that's okay. And I say the more I do it, the more proud I am of this. And I totally get if it's not for you, but like for me, it's been the best opportunity that has shown up for me in a really long time. And then it's like worked. Yeah.
I really like the idea that you're fully transparent about the MLM thing. I never really thought about that. People are normally like, oh, it's a pyramid scheme, whatever. And I'm like, actually, like, it's not, and blah, blah, blah. But like, I like that you embrace that. So I think I'm going to test that out. Another thing that I've been struggling with is that how many of your customers have you signed up? I mean, your team members have you signed up who are also trying the product for the first time? So like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to sell a product that I haven't tried, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten that response a lot, and I'm like, you know, it's a $50 difference between being a customer and a team member. That's all that it is. So it's true. Like I'm not throwing anything that's not real. Like I'm being 100% transparent about all parts of it. And it really is that simple. I say you can either put your points towards your first promotion, which is a pretty simple structure to get, or you can try it too. There's no pressure either way. Literally, the only difference is a $50 one-time fee, and you get it back when you hit your first promotion. So it's up to you, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. Some people are like, well, I want to be a part of it. Like, I love the mission of the Abundance Project, but I don't have like the money to pay for product right now. I'm like, well, as long as you believe in the mission, like, and just get up and running and like learn about the products, then and trust my story and my other, you know, Hannah's story and Sophie's story, then you can get started. And then, you know, once you get your first paycheck in the mail, put that straight to product, you know. I don't know.
Right.
So
well, and another thing too that's different is you don't even have to be a customer. Like you can literally sign up to be a rep, and you can get other customers first if you can't afford it. Like,
yeah.
You know, isn't that true, Hannah?
Yeah, I don't recommend it.
I don't recommend it either, but like if it's really that, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying I haven't had that experience yet. Everyone's always ordered, but like you can start your business however you want.
And there's a product available. You could just get them the berries.
Yeah.
Just do the fruit and veg.
Or the omegas are fire. I'm obsessed.
Let's get them on something.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
yeah, we can talk more about it one-on-one.
These are such good questions, Danielle.
Okay.
Something else I wanted to say, if you guys are not over me talking about this, but the second person that I talked to this week, I wanted to just share with you the different experience I had, because you really never know like how you're gonna approach these people, right? The second girl ordered last week, and she ordered the quad for herself, and like well, it's crazy, but she's miraculous experiences where her hair was falling out a lot last year, like a lot. Every time she brushed her hair, there was like chunks of hair. You guys will meet her soon because she just joined, but the first day she started taking Juice Plus, her hair stopped falling out, and I was like, I don't know. But since then, it's falling out less and less, and it's been literally 5 days. Like,
Did
she's
you have
so,
alopecia?
I don't know.
Oh my
She's
God.
just losing hair. But anyways, she had this really amazing experience right away and called me and was like, hey, is there an affiliate program? Like, she's already started posting about the products by herself. Like, I was just like, all right, you know, you're already doing this. Like, and then she called me randomly and she's like, people are asking me about these pills. Like, can I join? And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, well, what's the Abundance Project? And I was like, the Abundance Project is Juice Plus. Like, we're all one. But so obviously that's a very rare case where someone's just calling you, asking you if they can be on your team. But my point is, she called me and said that. I sent her the link and she never replied. So I was like, oh, great. Like, I don't know. It fell off, right? And what I did instead of anything else, like, we had that dance party at Team Call, and someone tagged me in one of the dance party little stories, right? And I sent it to her and I put an arrow and I said, insert your face here. And it looked so fun because it was fun. But I was just like, that's how I reminded her, right? Instead of being like, hey, what's your status on your application? Have you signed up? I was just like, hey, this is where you could be right now. Like, you know, and she was like, oh, I'm signing up tomorrow. You know, so there's ways to like have fun with it too and enjoy, like, well, why do I love this? Well, this is why I want to share this with this person. If I have a best friend who wants to join, I would literally want to insert them into that little like screen, right? So I think that's a great idea. I'm going to use that more often because it was like, why wouldn't I do that more? But you know, different techniques here, right?
I love that.
Follow-ups can be fun. They don't have to be scary and like daunting.
Totally. That's so great. Yay. People do come knocking though.
Yeah, I mean, if they're having, that's another thing. If you're looking for someone who wants, you're specifically like have the eyes on them for team, it's just if they're not ready, start them on the products because their experience might pop them right in, you know, like start them on the products, write them on, invite them to the Body Love. They get to see it all. Like, they're basically, the Body Love plus the products is the Abundance Project. So if you're going to experience them both together, like, you know what we're up to.
Amen. Amazing.
Can you invite people to the Body Love page and or any Abundance Project page if they haven't bought product yet or if they haven't joined as team members yet?
The Body Love and the Health and Wellness, yes.
For everybody.
Anybody.
Okay.
They don't have to have product.
All right.
The actual Abundance Project page, though, is just for like
Team members.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you have a new team member, put them in there.
Something I will mention though is you can use Tea Time and you can use the team call as a prospecting tool if you want. Be like, if they're on the fence and they just don't know what to do, be like, why don't you just hop on our Tea Time? Check it out. Why don't you just hop on team call? Check it out. I've done that before. Because live calls are the tits. Amazing. Well, it's 10 o'clock just about. This has been I feel like this call has like had so many different things we've covered, which is so fun. Thanks for joining us. And if you have any other additional questions, obviously you can reach out in Tea Time, reach out individually. I love you all so much. And yeah, encourage you to play around with the concept of moving into your soft mind and embodied awareness when you are talking to people and honestly just in your daily life. And I'll get you guys this recording, all the goodies. Love y'all. I just want to hang out and look at your faces all day.
Thanks, Hannah.
Thank you,
Love
Hannah.
it.
Thanks, Tia.
Hannah, let's talk later.
I know we got things to discuss.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
All right, I'll text you. Bye.